Murphy's Waugh, a review of Vile Bodies by S.D. Wickett. It begins with a priest called Rothschild. This, slightly humorous and mundanely absurd, opens Evelyn Waugh's second novel, Vile Bodies. Set, like most of Waugh's early work in the 1920s, it is a continuation in spirit of his first work, Decline and Fall. Like Decline and Fall, this work satirizes the roaring 20s with superlative ease and whimsical wit. Yet there is a sentimentality that is impossible to ignore. When writing about the bright young things who captured the attention of Britain's tabloid press, Waugh is writing a self-portrait of his own youthful absurdity. He was one of them. He dined with them, drank with them, had affairs with them. This is what separates a work like Vile Bodies from the sensation and scandal depicted in the press. Although Vile Bodies includes plenty of either, it reeks of genuine intimacy in spite of the satire. I called this piece Murphy's Waugh because everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Shortly after the introduction of that priest named Rothschild, we are taken across the English Channel in a trip that no one could call fortuitous. Men are brought to heel by the chopping waves, a hearty sing-song quickly becomes extortion, and at the end of the journey, the hilarity ensues. The protagonist, Adam Symes, a prospective novelist, has the only copy of his transcript confiscated and burned by border agents bereft of any understanding, and thus perfectly presupposed to the energy of the novel. The loss of his manuscript propels Adam down the bizarre path that ensues. The whimsical heartbeat of the story is his engagement to Nina Blount, which is paused and resumed at every narrative turn. Any fortune which randomly lands on Adam's lap is randomly swept away by the lawless rules of Waugh's world. He wins £1,000 on a bet, only to entrust his winnings to a drunken major, who vanishes to place the bet on a lame horse, only to reappear and then vanish again, and then reappear again at the novel's end. He meets with, charms, and secures a dowry from Nina's aloof father, only for the cheque to be signed in the name of one Charlie Chaplin. Misfortune doesn't only befall Adam. Seemingly, in the strange world of Vile Bodies, no one is safe. Not even the head of the British government. A fittingly named former Prime Minister, Mr. Outrage, spends his time quietly dreaming of other places. Meanwhile, his replacement falls after one of the novel's many parties spills into Downing Street, leading to one of the most humorous passages in the text. Likewise, the hotel of Miss Lottie Crump, where Adam finds himself staying, is awash with hilarity and misery in equal measure. Propelled forward by Crump's avid forgetting of names, a love of deposed monarchs, and an insistence that her guests remain slightly drunk at all times. So absurd is this house that a woman of the night, meeting her grisly end in one of the rooms, is treated as an unavoidable occupational hazard by dumbfounded cops. Adam finds work as the replacement for the tabloid columnist who took his own life after being expelled from the Bright Young Things. In a fleeting moment of control, Adam sensationalizes the nobodies of London. The dim-witted Ginger Littlejohn is transformed into a dashing man about town, though the swift hammer of misery isn't far behind. Adam quickly finds himself jobless and usurped in his relationship with Nina by Ginger himself. War soon breaks out and Adam signs up to serve, where he is reunited with the drunk major, only to fall unlucky in love one last time. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the life of Adam Symes. While he is far from the self-portrait that is Charles Ryder of Brideshead Revisited, Adam summarises a core theme of Waugh's bibliography. The decline of the world he grew up in. The spectre of the First World War is everywhere in Waugh's fiction. Its knock-on effects within the British aristocracy form the basis of the intense nostalgia. While a young man in the 1920s and prone to experimentation and hedonism, the decade shows itself a daunting and strange time for a man of the English public school tradition. The rapidly vanishing world of privilege of the upper class and the mass cultural change brought on by the emancipation of women, the broadening of the middle class, and the post-war craving for fun and excitement. Yet it somehow telegraphs the inevitably conservative conclusion of Waugh's journey as a writer and thinker. In his typical dualism, Waugh seems to both embrace these changes while fearing them simultaneously. This provides a lesson for us all. We don't need to acquiesce into changes that make us uncomfortable and strip us of a presumed inheritance, or with lost love and scarcity of money. When the chips are down and everything goes awry, we will always have the option to laugh. Thank you for listening to this Bournbrook essay. You can read our print issues and online articles at bournbrookmag.com, and you can support Bournbrook at bournbrookmag.com/subscribe.